Hi G's, welcome to Tyson's Alchemy.
You wake up, you check your phone, scroll, dopamine hits, nothing changes. The truth is, you're asleep and you don't even know it. You've been hypnotized, not by a man with a watch, but by a world that told you you're ordinary. Neville Goddard said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, but most of you assume the feeling of doom, of failure, of mediocrity, every damn day. You believe your past, you obey your emotions, you think your thoughts are you. Richard Bandler would tell you, that voice in your head, rewire it, change the tone, flip the script. And yet, you parrot society. You run the program, you act like slaves, not creators. Then you wonder why your life is a copy-paste of regret and routine. You don't need motivation, you need awakening. You need brutal self-awareness. Andrew Tate would say, no one is coming to save you, be your own hero, or die a nobody. This world, your world, is built inside your mind. You are the projector, not the screen. You are the programmer, not the program. You are the storm. The silence, the spark, everything you've been seeking, status, freedom, love, peace, already exists inside you. But it responds to certainty, vision, and discipline. Not wishful thinking, not tweets, not self-pity. Assume it, speak it, become it. The world bends for those who bend reality, and reality is nothing more than your most repeated thought made visible. Wake up. Program your mind, master your world, or stay average and call it fate.
Geez, welcome back to Tyson's Alchemy. You're in the right place if you want to level up your mind. So today's video, after showing you that beauty, is going to be an EMA episode, answering some questions that you've asked me inside the Tyson's Alchemy group, which you can join, hitting all the stuff below. There you go, that's all done. So I'm going to be dropping that self-hypnosis course very soon, and if you want early access to it, you need to comment on this video and let me know. Otherwise, you'll be getting charged full price when it comes out. It's not going to be super expensive, but you can get it cheaper if you ask for it early. So in the comments of this video, let me know that you want the Art of Self-Hypnosis early, and I'll give it to you. Okay? So I'm going to answer some questions. So the first question I got was, let's have a look, from Ghost. Shout out to Ghost. If you could go back to your 15-year-old self, what's one piece of advice that you give yourself? Ooh, so when I was 15, what was I doing? Trying to play football, trying to get with some bitches, trying to make money. Let me think about what's changed. Right, 15 years old. One piece of advice. I think when I was 15, and when you've been 15 yourself, you'll know that you don't really know a lot. Even if you think you know, you're kind of learning about the world, but you don't really know how it works, right? But the ideas that I had when I was 15, and I know this is going to sound a little bit cocky, but the ideas I had have later been realised. Yeah, I've lived on them just a little bit later. So the ideas of making money my own way instead of working for people, how women think and work and how their psychology works, how to actually make money, i.e. provide value rather than just chase and gamble. These ideas were all there at the start. I remember thinking, I don't want to do this work. I don't want to learn algebra at school because this isn't going to help me make money. I was selling cans of Coke and sweets at school, little entrepreneur in school, right? So I already had an idea, but I didn't quite fully believe it. I think I was too young to really believe that I had the answers. You know, I just thought I'm just young and hungry and ready for action, but I don't actually have the knowledge, right? So I think when you're 15, you kind of doubt yourself. So if I was 15 again, or if I could go give myself, who's 15, young Tyson, some advice, I would say, 1, lock the fuck in, because you're a G. And all those ideas you have, act on them now, not later. I think one of the biggest mistakes I made in terms of money and business is I had loads of amazing ideas and I kind of just acted on them a little bit later. But, you know, obviously I was locked into the football journey. But even that, you know, I wasn't super confident. I was putting in immense amounts of work trying to become a footballer. But I think I still kind of doubted myself a little bit. Probably because of the naysayers rather than myself. I was doing my self-hypnosis work fully, but I also respected a lot of people around me. And as you grow up, you start to learn that 99% of people around you are fucking idiots. And it turns out that 15-year-old Tyson probably did know what was best. And he probably did have it in him to go far, which he did. So, yeah, I'd go back and I'd just say lock in more. I'd just say, listen, you are a G, young Tyson. And what you're thinking about now at this young age is way beyond the years of anyone else your age. So stay locked in and keep on the hustle. And lastly, don't get into any relationships with women. Because there's nothing against women, but I did waste a lot of time because I'm a nice guy that actually loves someone when they're with them, and I actually care for people, and I'm very empathetic. I spent a lot of my time trying to lift women up, trying to give them the best life ever. You know, when you think about it now, as nice as that was, and they'll think I'm a lovely person, it hasn't really paid off for anything now, has it? You know what I mean? I've still been a G and doing my own stuff, but I do like to make their world amazing. And looking back, I'm like, well, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, do you really need to do that? Just get in, get out, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I'd keep out relationships, I'd stay locked in, and I'd tell that young 15-year-old that he's an absolute G. Right, next question. This one's from Rocco, shout out to Rocco. What's something you regret not doing when you were younger? I mean, so I think I answered this one in my previous video, so I kind of said in my last video that I wish I stayed fighting. I did a little bit of boxing when I was 15, 16, something like that, 14, 15, 16. And I was also playing football, and I had to make a choice. Oh, hold on. There's loads of army helicopters flying above the car. Spot on, it's awesome, isn't it? They're going to bomb someone probably for a bit of money. The war machine keeps on going. Yeah, they don't care about you. Yeah, so I would say I wish I kept up the fight, and I wish I did that sooner, because obviously even in the past few years that I've started doing my taekwondo and fighting, my confidence has shot right up, because I feel like I can walk into any room and fuck someone up, even with the skills I've learned now, right? Maybe not a professional fighter, well, any average man now is ruled out, because I can just put my leg right up taekwondo style and crack his fucking neck, right? So it gives you that confidence. So I wish I'd done that sooner, because I dealt with a lot of idiots, a lot of retards, a lot of, not bullies, I wouldn't get bullied, but there was a lot of like giga alpha chads that were trying to like shit on what I was doing. And Tyson, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to chase your own business? That's super gay. And then you learn like 10 years later that they're super gay because they've done fuck all, and you were actually a G because you were chasing your business and your money, right? So I would say learn fighting. Just get into the gym. I know it's intimidating, especially as a younger guy, but honestly, most people you meet in the fighting gyms are actually really nice, really sound, and you just got to get in there and learn the art of fighting. The longer you leave that off, the bigger chance you have of a situation or confrontation coming up in the future where you won't be confident with dealing with it. So hopefully you'll never have to use those skills, but it's a nice feeling being able to have them, right? So learning how to fight. Right, question number 3 from Lionaz. Is that your actual name, bro? Lionaz? Because I suppose if that's your real name, then you are cool as fuck having the word lion in your name. Have I said that right, Lionaz? Right. How do you optimize your daily routine for maximum productivity? This one's actually a simple one, and I have answered this one again in previous videos, so you should go check some previous videos, but the short-term answer is plan the night before. That's as simple as it gets. If you plan just a little 10-minute, 20-minute plan, and so it's basically you're premeditating what you're going to do tomorrow. So you get a vision in your head, you plan it, write on a piece of paper or on your notes in your phone, have some type, it doesn't even need to be perfect, but have some type of outline, some type of idea of what it is you're going to attack tomorrow. And then you don't wake up and you're like, oh, well then, what should I do today? You know what I mean? So you've got an idea. So when you wake up, you're like, I wrote down a list yesterday of shit I was going to do today. So let me go through that list as soon as I wake up. And then, when that's all done, then I can, that's a lovely day. I've done all my jobs. You know what I mean? So that's the best advice. That's the best thing I've done with terms of being productive, is just have an idea, a little list, a little 5-point checklist of the things that you're going to do tomorrow before you start doing any like hobby shit or fun shit, right? Because you need to do the fun shit, but get that work done first. And if you can lead your life that way, that every time you wake up, it's the work mindset, jump out, get your work done, and then play and hustle stuff later, yeah? So planning the day before. Next question we have is from Marinko. Is that how you pronounce that? Marinko. That's how it's spelled, so we're gonna say it. Marinko. What habit or mindset shift has made the biggest difference in your growth so far? Habit or mindset shift? Ooh. Okay, well, it's two questions. So a habit. The best habit is just the habit of turning up every day. I think when I was younger, you know, just using the gym as an example, I was like, yeah, it's chest and back day today, and then it's a day off, and then it's triceps and biceps and shoulders the next day, and then it's a day off, and then it's... And actually, I could go to the gym every single day and build up that disciplined habit. So I could go Monday and do chest and back, but then Tuesday I could go, and I could actually do another body part because I wasn't doing chest and back, but I could do stretching, I could do dynamic stretching, I could do yoga, I could do Pilates, I could do fighting. Like going to the gym every day as a discipline, as a habit, is fantastic. But I don't just mean going to the gym, I mean just turning up to whatever your goals are every day. So I suppose when I was younger I did play football most days, but the habit of, especially when it applies to business, turning up for your own dreams every day, no days off, even on the weekends, even when people have got plans. I mean, when I was fully locked in at the start of like this really big hustle, people were like, are you coming to this event, or are you gonna come here? And even if I had to go sometimes, because it was a commitment, and I do have friends and family circles, right, I would go, but then find some type of way to get some work done. And that's what you do when you've got a dream that you want to chase and you want to remain locked in. You find a way. So the best habit is turning up every day. And some of you might be doing that, and that's great. Keep doing it because it compounds. And some of you are still taking days off on your dreams. And every time you take a day off, it breaks the chain of momentum. You have to start again. So don't take days off. That's my advice. Doesn't mean you need to be full throttle every day, but just try and move the needle a little bit further towards your dreams every single day. Mindset shift. I think as you get a little bit older as a man, you start to see more and more of the world, more and more people. I've walked in different circles now. I've been around millionaires, billionaires, beautiful women, not so beautiful women. Every possible circle I've walked around, right? And I like the fact that I've chose to stay me. I'm still like the chav that wears his vest and his glasses and flexes, right? I don't care, right? Because I'm authentically me. I like the fact that at some point in that time when you're growing up and trying to learn, I realized I'm not perfect, but I'm a G, right? That, you know, a simple way of putting it, you know, might be someone watching this that doesn't understand that terminology. But you work out that everyone's kind of not got a clue. Everyone's kind of anxious. Everyone's got a little bit of depression floating around them or some shit. And I don't suffer from anxiety, don't suffer from depression. Look fantastic, work out, and I've got money. It's like you realise that if you just lock into these simple disciplines, you're like 90% better than most of the world. And I don't mean from a place of like arrogance, I just mean like most people are suffering. They don't have self-hypnosis techniques, their mind's completely fucked, they're feeling sorry for themselves, their family are against them, their friends are against them, their girlfriends hate them, they're fat, they're lazy, they're undisciplined. Like most people are most people, they're programmed by the matrix. And from my young age, I was determined not to be, and I realised there was something happening, and I decided to break it and program my own mind. So that's the best mindset shift. The time when I realised that actually there's no superior beings. There's some people doing better than others, but there's no one that is better than me. And that's the type of self-hypnosis that you need to put into yourself. That's not from a place of arrogance. I don't actually think I'm the best golfer in the world, but I do believe if I trained golf every single day, I could be the best golfer in the world. And that mindset shift right there is what has led to my success. One last question. It's from Ronak. Shout out to Ronak, Super G. If you could only teach one mental tool to improve your life, what would it be? Ooh, there's loads, and they're going to be dropped in the course. One, just one. I think the one I would go for, which is the one I was doing from a very, very young age, is having a vision, a mental tool. So basically meditating or / thinking, because that's, you know, I didn't know what meditating when I was only young. thinking about the event or what the game. So for me, it was like a football game when I was younger. That event that I was going to go to, in my mind, how I want it to go, how it's going to go, what that would feel like, and then soaking up that energy before the event. And then when I got to the event, those cogs already turned. So when I walked onto the pitch, I was still feeling the vision I had of myself walking on the pitch and feeling that positive feeling, positive. You know, waking up in the morning and having a vision for how great my day is going to go. That's just priceless, because most people just wake up with a dark cloud overhead, hearing that alarm, and they're like, oh no, I've got to get up for work. Every time my alarm goes off to get me up, if I've set my alarm, it's one of like, right, envision my day. I've already planned it the day before. Envision how awesome this day is going to be. Opportunities are going to come my way. I'm going to get a new PR at the gym. Money's going to flow to me. This is how great this day is going to be. Having a vision in my head, a visualise in my head. Just as I'm kind of waking up and coming out the trenches of sleep, I have a vision. And it's a future, right? So get a vision. That's probably the best thing. If it's just one tool, that's what I'd say. So, right, that's the questions. Thanks for all the questions. And remember,
Self-hypnosis is the key.
and drop a comment if you want the early course. So get out there, boys.